free to play. Free to play. Free to play gaming makes up roughly 85% of all global gaming revenue per year, accounting for around $200 billion in 2025. Free games sound good on the tin, but when you open it up, you find a rotting, stale mess riddled with predatory microtransactions, pay-to-win mechanics, and artificial time gates. These are mechanics designed to latch onto the same dopamine rushes as casinos, or to frustrate you into opening up your wallet and swapping that sweet piece of plastic you keep tucked in there for a rainy day.
Speaking of free, you know what else is free? Subscribing. It helps out a bunch and lets me put out more great content. Now enough of that. Free-to-play games tend to come in two egregious monetization plans. There are games like Fallout Shelter, those of which are designed to be so obtuse, with limited energy, wait times and slow grinds you can pay to skip. These are games designed to frustrate you into paying. The content available is good to some standards, but they let you run wild before putting the leash on and stopping all progression until you pay.
Then you have gacha games. Now if you don't understand what gacha is, it's from Japanese prize machines. Put your money in, get a random chance at things within. Fun, right? Until they hook up to your credit card, make the best items incredibly rare, and make you compete with others with better items. Here we have another method of draining your wallet. Not frustration, but chance and addiction. It's been known gacha games have almost the exact same effect on people as gambling does. You get the pack, you open it up and ooh, what do I get? Odds are crap. But that one time in 10, 20, 50 pulls, you get the juice. The rush is great and it makes you want to buy again. It's basically a glorified slot machine. More like fee to play, am I right?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Now, if I had told you the best free game ever made releases a broken mess in 2013 with next to no marketing and was made by a Canadian studio with a team of 30 developers, yet now, a full decade later, it not only competes but actually gives some of the largest live service games in the world a run for their money, you'd think I was lying. Well, I'm not. And this is Warframe. Warframe is a looter-shooter RPG with some light MMO mechanics. It was released by Digital Extremes, a Canadian game development studio, in 2013 as a last-ditch attempt to get their passion project out into the world. Official development of the game began in roughly 2012, but Digital Extremes had been coming up with ideas for projects as radical and innovative as Warframe since 2000, where they had the idea for Dark Sector, a game truly ahead of its time. Well, the pitch was anyway. It was originally pitched for the PS2 as a multiplayer shooter with a persistent world where the player interaction would affect the wider world. It's in a solar system on the brink with multiple warring factions and a lone operative fighting to survive. You did hear right, Digital Extremes was trying to create an action MMO for the PS2, a system which was truly hindered by its lack of built-in, easily accessible online interactivity, mostly leaving up to each individual developer to build their own online system, and they pitched it 4 years before World of Warcraft launched.
I'm Mr. T and I'm a Night Elf Mohawk. What's your game?
Dark Sector didn't release as the industry-leading MMO on the PS2. Sony rejected the idea for being too ambitious. It instead ended up releasing in 2008 as a middling third-person shooter on the Xbox 360, with some interesting mechanics. However, the overall game fell flat. Financially, it was a modest success, and it, along with other game releases, carried Digital Extremes for a few years until 2012, where the company was facing bankruptcy. After figuring out no publisher would fund the development of their original Dark Sector vision, and with about a year's worth of funds left, Digital Extremes decided they'd have to do it themselves.
Warframe is the name of the exo armors that you get in the game, and there's a whole bunch of them, and they have crazy wacky powers, but the way we like to think of it is you're a space ninja. You have a machine gun and a sword and a crazy power suit, and you can do crazy awesome stuff with your friends, 1 to 4 players, coming to PC this fall. And so now it's kind of like, for me, that I've been in the industry for quite a while, for 15 years almost, so now it's like I just got my job again, and I have like butterflies in my stomach when I come to work and I look at the new builds. So I was absolutely relieved when people said, "Oh my God, it's the old concept, awesome!" Thank God they didn't say, "Oh my God, it's the old concept, die in a fire." So that worked out pretty well.
Now in 2013, Warframe released, and did it release to rave reviews and accolades? No. As at release, it was a bit of a broken mess, with uninspired combat and a monetization system that was quite frankly offensive. If you died 4 times, you had to pay or wait 24 hours to play again. It was a completely different game to what it is now, but it had potential.
So, certainly potential involved in Warframe, definitely. It's a very high fidelity, obviously kind of AAA quality, free-to-play game. But it, I think, has a long way to go before it can really define itself as absolutely top tier and really have the content that's going to keep people playing for longer than a couple of days.
That didn't stop DE. They pushed through, added some of the best movement ever put into a shooter, added an expansive star chart with over 260 missions, 60 warframes, 600 weapons, cinematic quests, 4 open worlds, fishing, jetpacks, mechs, skateboards, a dating simulator, and much more. The base game works like this. You are a warframe. Your warframe has unique abilities. You have a primary, secondary, and melee weapon, all of which are infinitely customizable. You go into missions with up to 3 other people to complete various objectives, be it exterminating a Grineer encampment, a race of clones whose genetic makeup has deteriorated after generations of cloning other clones, or sabotaging a corpus ship, a conglomerate of people who worship the most holy of ideals, profit. And the infested, biological weapons created by the Orokin, the same people who created you. There's truly hundreds, if not thousands of hours of unique content to explore. The game isn't designed like a straight line where content is just repeatedly added onto the end. It's a web which sprawls out in a million different directions. No 2 people play the game the same way. Now some of these paths might end sooner than others, some might say they end abruptly, and could do with some more love, but everything I still think is a fun time. Let's talk about the current monetization system, as DE has created possibly the best free-to-play model ever. Everything in the game is free. You heard me, everything. The weapons, the warframes, the vehicles, everything. Now can you also pay for it with premium currency? Of course, people have got shit to do, they ain't got all day to grind out all the pieces for a weapon or a frame. But here's the thing, Platinum, the premium currency, can be earned in-game by trading with other players. Here is the magic. When someone buys premium currency, most of the time it doesn't just disappear into the void, back into DE's pocket. It goes to another player, who then passes it on to the next, and the next, and the next. Here is our player-based economy. Now you might be asking, how do I get items which people would pay for? And here's how you do it. Play the game. No secrets, no magic. If you just play the game, as you progress, you'll end up picking up parts for weapons, modifications, warframe pieces, or relics which contain rare items, and you can just sell them to players, then use that plat to get what you want. Oh, and did I mention, if you don't want to do all that, DE provide coupons for 25 to 75% off on purchases quite often, around a couple times a month. Now here is truly where Warframe shines. It respects you. Unlike most other games which might as well hold you at gunpoint for your money, Warframe, you just play. I played Warframe for hundreds of hours before dropping a dime on it, and when I did, it wasn't because I felt I needed to keep up with everyone else. It was because I wanted to support the developers of a game I think is genuinely beautiful. You know what else is beautiful? The community around Warframe and the devs' relationship with it. Every week they have Prime Time, a stream where they show their appreciation for the community by highlighting videos, fan art, and providing developer commentary, sometimes with patch notes.
Oh, it's awful.
Just go.
Oh, give me it.
The community is one of the most welcoming communities I've ever seen, with
26 million registered users.
who all understand that we are on the same team. I remember when I first got back into Warframe and I had no gear or anything. Just talking into trade chat, trying to find some Oberon Prime parts. And when I found a guy to sell them to me, we got to chatting about how I was new, and he ended up giving me a bunch of more stuff for free, just to help me on my way. And this isn't a rare occurrence. A lot of the time, if you need something, you need only ask nicely, and someone will happily provide. But don't just take my word for it. Here's some experiences of people much more popular than myself.
I may be a new Warframe player, but I had fallen in love with the game. I think part of the reason why I fell in love with the game so much and I like the game is because the community is, I just to say, Warframe has one of the best gaming communities I've ever seen in my life. I've never felt more welcome. I've never felt more welcome in all my life. I feel like Final Fantasy was pretty welcoming, but Warframe is like on another level.
Yeah, what a nice bunch of people. You guys, dude, ever since I started this game and like the community coming through here and all that, you know, and enjoying myself amongst this community and being treated so nicely and all that, you know, it's been a blast.
Thank you guys all for the gifts. That's very kind.
Warframe community is very passionate.
How about they prove it?
How about that?
And without this community, Warframe would not have been able to grow into the game it is today. A game that's still growing. In the last 10 years, we've had 4 new open worlds, with the Plains of Eidolon hunting giant creatures and saving a small community of humans on Earth from the oppression of the Grineer. Fortuna, a debt internment colony on Venus under the thumb of the Corpus, where we learn how to skateboard and help Solaris United become free from their oppressors. The Cambrian Drift on the infested moon of Deimos, with 2 giant worms fighting, being the day and the night cycle. Here, you know what DE added? Mechs. Big ass mechs that blow up everything in sight. A lot of players don't like them, but I love them. DE, please update them. And Duviri, a land of floating islands trapped in the void with a mysterious king who can control time. You don't get your normal loadout here. Every journey into the void, be prepared to play with a random selection of warframes and weapons, which turns into a great way to test out things without having to build and invest into them yourself. And we got amazing cinematic quests, like The War Within, The New War, The Old Peace. There's Railjack, where you and a group of friends fly a ship through space, dogfighting with enemy ships before invading a mothership and destroying it from the inside. Why don't we travel back to 1999 and stop an outbreak of the infestation before humanity even became spacefaring, and help out a group of broken people turned into proto-frames, survive the nightmare, and maybe even date 1 or 2 of them. Let's not forget the Lich system, where every faction in the game have their own randomly generated bosses, which come with some of the best weapons in the game, which are supposed to hunt you down, but mostly they just chat shit as you select a different mission to complete.
Right, combat mode. Thinking, powering thoughts. Power flows through me.
And there's more coming. Tau is in sight. So DE, in a much anticipated update, will be adding an entirely new star system where we get to journey to the far off worlds of Tau. I'd love to go into more detail about this, but I don't want to spoil you. And let's not forget, this is all free. Other live service games might add a new map or some more skins per season, but Warframe isn't afraid to reinvent itself. To throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. If you stop playing Warframe and you come back a few years later, it'll be an entirely new experience. This has happened to me more than once. And it's expanded onto as many platforms as you can think of, available on the PC, the Switch, the PlayStation, Xbox, and even mobile, all with cross-save available, so you can really play it anywhere. Now enough of the glaze for a moment. At this point, I'm starting to sound like I'm paid. Warframe isn't perfect. New players are in for a confusing first experience, with multiple systems being thrown at you at once, how to modify weapons, the roughly 1 million resources it takes to make items, and systems left to die, like Arcwing or Necromechs. Updates that don't really speak to each other and end up feeling isolated from the rest of the game. Annoying wait times, a confusing endgame where you're not really sure what you're meant to do. Am I meant to hunt these massive creatures for experience, or am I meant to complete Warframe's hard mode, the Iron Path, or do I try to max level all the weapons in Warframes? These are questions long-time players ask themselves, until they realise the real endgame is Fashion Frame, of course. Warframe isn't the best free-to-play game because it's perfect, or faultless. It's also not the best because of the amount of content in the game. It's the best because it respects its players. It doesn't treat us like cash cows or whales making us watch ads for a crumb of currency or predatory gacha mechanics. It just provides a solid game with a great community. It's not designed to get money out of you. It's designed to make you want to pay. You want to support this strange thing that business executives would never normally let happen, because at the end of the day, all that matters is more profit. The fact it's a great game with a great community on top of an amazing business model is why, in my humble opinion, it is the best free game ever made. Thanks for watching. This is my first video, and I hate to ask a second time, but if you enjoyed, subscribe. I'd love to make more of these. See ya.